Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. 1 Million by 1 Million is the only global virtual incubator in the world today, and our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue, build $1 trillion in global GDP, and 10 million jobs. So it's a daunting mission, and it's predicated upon your success. We will only be successful if you are successful in achieving your ends of being a successful entrepreneur. And I presume that's why you're here. This is our 208th roundtable. We've been doing this for a long time, and as a result, we have had very deep exposure to the troubles and tribulations of entrepreneurs around the world, and we've built the program to respond to those trials and tribulations to the extent possible. The recording of the event will be available afterwards on our blog as well as on our YouTube channel. If you are live tweeting the show, please use hashtag 1M1M. You can also follow us on Twitter at 1M by 1M and at Sramana. Our YouTube channel is 1M1M Roundtables, and we have recordings of every single roundtable available there, as well as other goodies like these entrepreneurship cartoons and FAQ videos on 1M1M. So dig around in the YouTube channel and you'll find some goodies there. We're going to first do a couple of slide presentation-based discussions, but after that, we will hopefully have time to take questions from the audience, and if you want to discuss your specific issues, questions, concerns, on an impromptu basis, these are your call-in instructions. Maureen will put them up on the public chat, and I will put these instructions, the slide back on when we are ready to take your calls. For now, we're going to start with Nick Swenson, who's representing ClickMe. Nick, if you could unmute your line and tell us what you're working on.
Yep, thank you so much. Actually, next slide. My name's Nick Swenson.
Where are you dialing?
Santa Monica.
Okay.
Santa Monica, California. I think we're on a little bit different time zone than you guys. My name is Nick Swenson. I'm the founder and president of ClickMe. I graduated engineering from MIT. I've published numerous articles in analytical research. I was the founder and president of the MIT golf program. While I was there, we raised about $130,000. And before starting ClickMe, I worked as a management consultant for Bain & Company in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So last spring, Harrison, my co-founder, and I, we saw a huge in the online blogger community, specifically those sites with heavy images. And they had a need for a social community built around their content. And they had a huge need for real social communities. So by real, we mean the ability to discuss content, discover new content, and connect with others. And from this idea, and this the idea for ClickMe was born. ClickMe, as you can see here, it turns your own blog into a combination of Pinterest and Instagram, allowing your readers to favorite, collect, and discuss all the images without ever leaving your site. Just so I can clear the slide here, what you're seeing is one of our blogs. This is one of our clients. It's called Label. It's a design-oriented blog that has pictures across the entire blog. ClickMe, which is the bar at the bottom, the comment box, and the overlay, it allows a site to pull all their social engagement directly onto their site. Down at the bottom, you can see the hottest images across that site and across the web in the trending section, which are the thumbnails at the very bottom. And then in the center of the page, you can see the overlay, which is very Instagram-like. It shows the number of likes and comments that have been made about that image. And then in the center, the comment box shows you exactly what your friends or other people on the site have been saying about that image. And so with ClickMe, you can tag your friends, you can have discussions about the images, and you can share these images via email or via social networks. It also gives you the ability to save the image as a scrapbooking tool directly to your profile. And so any image that you like or want to have a continued conversation about, you can save directly to your scrapbook. And for a user, it allows you to really understand your customer base. It allows you to engage with your friends in a very social way. For a publisher, it increases page views and increases activity on their site. Because of our model, meaning we have to be on the site before we can have any user engagement, our initial customers are publishers with image-heavy blogs. It is a huge, huge market. There's 100.1 million Tumblrs, 42 million WordPress bloggers, and in the Google Blogger network alone, there's 46 million unique visitors per month for Google Blogger sites, and 77% of internet users read blogs, which is just super, I mean, that's incredibly big. What are these publishers is our value proposition, and we go to them with kind of a two-pronged approach. For the publisher, ClickMe helps increase page views, time spent on the website as it decreases the bounce rate for that site. And then for the user can use ClickMe to find trending content on it, be more involved in the social community, and share essentially the coolest images that they can find with their friends across the web. Next slide, please. Due to the vastness of our market, we've had to be kind of careful with which markets we've gone after, and we focus specifically on fashion, food, and mommy blogs. And we've really done this because these three blogs are typically image-heavy. The users of these blogs tend to be very conversational. They spend a lot of time talking about food or being a mom. These sites are usually ones where we integrate pretty well in terms of design and functionality.
And you have a question from the audience. Michael Kleeman is asking you, what is the benefit of using ClickMe? Why not using Instagram or Pinterest directly?
That's a great question. Instagram and Pinterest are great places for communities. But when you think about Build Instagram community or a Pinterest community, typically you think of it as a community outside of Instagram or inside of Pinterest. As you take the content site and put it on Instagram or put it on Pinterest, if you are a publisher, your user is being pulled to Instagram or Pinterest. It allows you to create that same community, but directly open on your page. And so these publishers who put in millions of dollars into their content and into their website and infrastructure, and having those users be pulled away from where they've invested some energy and money.
All right. And business model, where are you? Okay, why don't you do customer acquisition, then we're going to do business model. That's fine.
Sure. The way that, for us, it's with any new technology, it's to get customers, and we've gone through kind of a two-step approach, which is a targeted email campaign, influential marketing, food and fashion blogs, allowed us to then use those influential people to help market for us, which has been a very effective strategy. And then we've also been in conjunction running advertising to Google AdWords and Facebook to target these bloggers. We have to all, because these are the users that actually use the platform, we need the blogger promote for us to promote their users to join our platform. And we do that through giveaways, which we've partnered with Simply, which they have high-end sites. Also, we've partnered other blogs to help create conglomerates for users to sign up. Okay, next slide. And maybe, I guess to your point, maybe talk here about the business model. The way we make money and the way that we monetize is on the analytics that we provide a site owner. So any site owner uses any site owner uses, was that comment directed
Nick,
for myself?
are you calling from a regular landline?
No, I'm not.
Can you drop off and call back from a regular landline? You're very hard to hear. The call quality is absolutely terrible.
Oh, it is.
Since you're in Santa Monica, I imagine it's not a problem for you to call in using a regular landline?
Sure, yeah, I can go ahead and do that.
Do you have any problem with the phone call?
Limited minutes, and so I'm trying not to, I try to avoid using them when I can.
Because, there are a lot of people listening to this call, and with the kind of call quality that it's really distressing for everybody.
I'm sorry, do you know what do you know how to pull up what my call information is?
Maureen, can you give him the call information in his private chat? So folks, while Nick is redialing into the call and to continue his presentation, I want to encourage all of you to use the public chat. And by the way, public chat is when you send your chat to send to all participants. Use the public chat to introduce yourselves. Tell us where you're joining from, what projects you're working on, and what brings you here. How did you find out about us? We love to get to know you, and from what I see, people like to get to know one another. So it's as much of a roundtable discussion about your business as it is a networking session. So please feel free to volunteer those introductions and so forth in the public chat. And I also want to, while we're waiting for Nick to join back in, I want to introduce you to a very inspiring person we have had the privilege to get to know over the last few years, because he has participated in the 1M1M program quite actively, and his name is John Lynch. John is in the room today. Now, John is the oldest entrepreneur that we have encountered in the 1M1M program, and he is 90 years old. So just wanted to tell you this because there is no age limit to entrepreneurship. As long as you feel like it, as long as you have the stamina for it, you can continue doing it. And that's one of the wonderful things about this way of life. We belong to a generation that is going to have very, very high life expectancy. And God knows how long we're going to be living. It kind of sounds a little scary to have to live to be 120 or 150. I personally actually dread the idea of living to be 120 or 150. However, 100 is well within reach these days. So it's a very long time, and we have to all make sure that we are sufficiently stimulated intellectually and professionally and so forth for a very, very long time. And hiring practices tend not to hire people who are 80, 90, 100 years old, but if you want to start a business of your own, if you want to do a business of your own, I suppose you can do it. And John is the living example of that phenomenon. So I just wanted to mention that and highlight John's wonderful inspiration for us. Nick, are you back on?
Yes, I think so. Is that better?
Yes, please. That's much better, and please continue. I'm glad I asked you to do that.
Sure. It looks like Michael Kleeman wasn't able to hear the answer to his earlier question about why not use Instagram or Pinterest directly and what's the benefit of using ClickMate. I can quickly retouch on that. Instagram and Pinterest are great social communities in a place where you can really engage on images. But what ends up happening with these website owners is that the content that they are creating and that they are building is being pulled directly from their page onto Instagram or onto Pinterest. And while people are able to engage on it, the community isn't being built around what the website owner has created. It's instead being built on Instagram and Pinterest. We provide the same features and the same ability to have that engagement and that conversation, but we do it directly on the page itself, which for a website owner who spends millions of dollars on content infrastructure and on building the content itself, it just doesn't make sense to take that traffic away from their site and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And you started to talk about business models, so if you could pick up from there, I think that would be a good continuation.
Yep, the way we make money, which is obviously an incredibly important thing, is through the data analytics that we provide to sites. Because the way that we exist, which is on the page, we have an ability to track and to collect data on their users, not only from a traffic sense, meaning the number of page views or uniques, so that sort of thing. That's, I mean, Google Analytics has that covered. But we can do it in an engagement sense. So what that means is that we can understand how a user is feeling and based on what they say. So let's say you have a site and you post an image about one of your favorite sports players, and you see 50 different comments on, or let's say 250 different comments on that image. We have analytics that run and can process those comments and decide how your users are feeling about your content, which is incredibly powerful for a publisher to know that your users are happy about the content that you're posting, or that they're mad or they're angry, it's controversial. Knowing that is something that not anyone else really provides, and something that we can provide.
And what is your experience in working with your early validation customers? Are people willing to pay for this? Are you talking about a subscription fee of some sort?
Yes, and so the way that our analytics dashboard is built is based on a freemium model. It's modeled after the Candy Crush gamification. So in the same sense where you make small achievements, you buy credits, and then those achievements allow you to purchase items later. We do the same thing based on the amount of credits that you buy. You can then go and buy analytics pieces. And about 3 months ago, of the 30 sites that we betaed on, I think 8 of them were paying customers, paying month-to-month customers. So based on how much traffic you get, it's tiered based on how big you are. But we did have 8 paying customers, and well, we continue to have 8 paying customers.
And do you have a ballpark on how much these 8 customers are paying, and what that number? What is an average subscription, or what is an average monthly revenue per customer?
Yes. For those 8 customers, we have each one pays a $25 monthly subscription price, which comes out to be around $200 for the 8 of them. And it's right now that price is based on the current features that we offer, which doesn't include some of the natural language processing that I just talked about, which we'll be rolling out in the next hopefully a couple months. But that will likely increase as we roll that feature out, and as the sites that we bring on get bigger. Those 8 sites were relatively small sites.
And what is the threshold of traffic for a site that would be of interest to you? Given what you have described, very small sites are not interesting to you.
So actually, very small sites it's not that they're not interesting. They aren't exactly the greatest for us, but it actually doesn't hurt us at all to have them. It's a good thing to have them, even if they don't bring in.
Small sites are not the ones that are going to pay you money, subscription fees, to be using your product. It just doesn't. The bloggers just don't operate that way.
Right. I will agree with you on small bloggers don't operate that way, but there are there's a huge population of bloggers who get 1-2 million uniques a month who are very, very interested in learning about their customer base.
Yeah, but the number is not that large. 1-2 million uniques a month is a very small number. I mean, if you look at the rankings, I mean, just as a kind of like a back of the envelope, for even with the Alexa 100,000, you're probably talking about maybe 10,000 or 12 or 20,000 at most, but not more than that.
Who are above 1 million?
Yeah, or less actually. Yeah.
It's about. You're right. It's about 5,000. It's the.
Okay, so it's a very small number.
Mm-hmm. But it's that. So of those sites that are the 5,000 sites, the top 5,000 sites which get 1 million uniques or more, they are typically worth, based on, I mean, this isn't there, it's not an ideal metric, but we have spoken to one of those sites that is a top 5,000 site, and her site is worth about $12 million. That's her valuation, her recent valuation, and she generates about $800,000 in revenue per year. Of that $800,000, if we can show, which we've started to be able to show, that we can increase page views, if we can, as we prove to her that that's what we can do, the amount that she will spend, if we can increase her page views by 10%, let's say that valuation is proportional to number of page views. It's not exactly true, but let's say it is. If it is proportional to that, that's $100,000 of extra dollars that we make for her. To build a pricing model around that added benefit to her is really not that difficult. And to say that for an enterprise level customer, which she would essentially be enterprise level, to say that we're making you $100,000 more, and as a result we're going to charge you $2,000 for our service, it's not a hard sell to a publisher of that stuff.
Yeah, so I think if that's the direction that you want to go, then we are talking about, you know, average perhaps $1,000 per customer revenue, and then maybe 1,000 customers.
Right. Yes, 1,000 enterprise level customers. Yes. Right. That is in terms of, I mean, with any financial strategy, obviously your top 10% of customers are going to be generating by far the most revenue, and so that will obviously be where we make the most money. But a lot of our marketing ability and a lot of our user base will need to be across hundreds of websites. So even if it's not on the biggest sites, we'll still need to be on the smaller sites so that we are something that's recognizable, that it is something that we have created a brand around so that people understand how to use it.
All that is fine. The reason I took you through this discussion is to alert you to the fact that you need to pay attention to total available market. Now, if you're going to bootstrap the business, then a total available market of, you know, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million is fine. But if you have aspirations of raising money, those are not adequate numbers. And if you roll up your numbers, those numbers, these are $.
I'm sorry, I can't hear very well.
Why do you have noise problems, Nick? You're an MIT. Why can't you have a clean WebEx call?
Oh, that's a good question. I have no idea.
You embarrass me, as you're my fellow alum, and you embarrass me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But what I said to you, most seriously, what I said is that the reason I took you through that thought process or thought exercise is to alert you to the fact that you will need to pay attention to market sizing. And if you plan to bootstrap this company, then a 10 million, 12 million, 20 million, 50 million market size is fine. If you have aspirations of raising venture capital, you need to scope out $1 billion market opportunity. And based on the discussion we've had, I did not see $1 billion market opportunity here. So if you choose to bootstrap, no problem, everything is fine. Looks like you're doing all the right things. if you have interest in raising money, then you have other things to worry about.
That's actually a very good point.
Okay. All right. We'll move to the next presentation. Thank you, Nick. Interesting idea.
Yep, no problem.
Sri Dodani from, is that Sokoko or Sakoko?
Sokoko.
Sokoko. All right. Sri, please unmute your line and tell us what you're doing.
Okay. Good morning, Sramana, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to present to you. Again, my name is Sri Dodani. I'm based here locally in San Jose, California, and my co-founder, Paul, should be on the phone as well. If you have any questions, either one of us can answer as well. We're a privately funded startup. We do have a venture investment already, and technically we are sort of one of the veteran startup, if you may say. 2007 is when we started, but for the first few years of our life, we just spent developing platform and technology, and then we introduced the product in 2013 as a beta, and then we formally launched it into December of last year, what we call Virtual Office. We're targeting enterprises and what we call Fortune 20 million businesses, not just Fortune 500. And I'll go into detail what we mean by those. And we're addressing a large addressable market that includes all of the communication services. As you'll see in our offering, that we combine all modes of communication, including voice, conferences, meetings, etc. in there. What our core technology is based on is on spatial switching. And one of the things you will see in our offering, there is no phone number to dial at all. Everything is without the phone number. And that's one of the fundamental premises we build our technology on. So on the next slide, since Maureen has forwarded that, so what we are is about a virtual office. It's always on. What it does is you'll see a paradigm that we are always in the office, just like we would be in the physical world. And people can come into office just like in physical world. They'll sit in the lobby, and a guest or employees will come directly into the office, and they can knock on or go into anybody's office from anywhere in the world. So you will never know that we are sitting in San Jose or we're sitting in China, Shanghai. So it's always connected. And having done 2 companies before, having distributed teams globally, you always have a sense that the more teams feel like their headquarters is always doing something they don't know, and they're a bunch of idiots in the headquarters. This thing eliminates all of that stuff, and the entire team is sitting in virtual office. It doesn't mean that you don't have the physical office. You could, or you don't have to have a physical office at all. It's a common culture, and what the fundamental benefit you get is you get the same sense as if you're sitting in the Silicon Valley with all the offices around you. It's a single-click UI. So anything you want to do, if you want to have a meeting, the trouble we went through this morning to some of them to dial in the number in WebEx, put in a password for the meeting, then put an ID number, all of that is eliminated. In our case, you just click one click and you're into the meeting. And nothing, no download, nothing of that sort. You can have all the modes of communication, including audio, video, chat, screen share, application share, and be able to dial out and have all your web interfaces, including your storage, all built into your office, just like a file folder in your office. You can invite internal employees to a meeting at our basis, or you can have guests come in. More importantly, as the world is going mobile, your office can be mobile. It doesn't have to be on the web base on a laptop. So on the next slide, you will see that we offer you the entire office in your pocket. That's the UI you see. It's for iPad or an iPhone. So literally, when you're walking out of the office, you can see the entire office on a single screen, what's happening in the office. You can see who's meeting whom, who's talking, who's sharing the files, or who's actually doing hosting a meeting, and so forth, all in a single screen. And if you are in a meeting like we are today, and if you had to go outside to attend another meeting, no loss of communication at all. You transfer from your Wi-Fi or Ethernet connection automatically to LTE connection. That's massive, like many of us have done in the WebEx. You in a meeting, you have to go, you have to redial in, put the password, and put a meeting number, and half the time you're fumbling, you don't know what's going on. In our case, you just transition smoothly to LTE. These are some of the customers who have used us, what they're saying. They can work instantly. Guys, these customers range from Fortune 500 all the way to young startup, right from the day one. But more importantly,
these are ongoing customers. I imagine you have a subscription business model, yes?
Yes, we have subscription business model.
So these are all current subscribers?
Yes, they are all subscribers. Actually, they're all paid subscribers, all of these guys.
Okay.
And what it does is not only just helps them run the businesses and the team much more efficiently, but also helps them with the customer, because now customer can interact with these guys around the globe with a click of a button and get a better customer service. We have lots of examples where our customers have helped their customers in an instant where there's some trouble on their computer systems, or any trouble they have with the customer, they're able to solve real time with them. Okay. They can have impromptu meetings. So then next thing is that a lot of the customers can choose the sites depending on the customer type. These are some of the examples of customers' offices. They can lay out as dense as they want. They can lay out as sparse as they want. They can have 5 people office, or 10 people, or 100. One of our large customers has about 800 users in single offices. Obviously, there are multiple office floors on that one. The next slide on why we are at 1M by 1M. Like you, Sramana, what we believe in Sococo is not about just Fortune 2000. It's about the Fortune 20 million businesses. We believe in a very short period of time, there'll be 20 million startups and small and medium businesses around the globe that may work with about 15 to 20 collaborators, partners, customers, generating revenues and earnings and a decent living for the founders and the employees. That's what's going to make this happen. In the past, and my belief is a lot of the startups have helped these startups to start and grow. Similarly, what we want to do at Sococo is to facilitate the startups to get a virtual office. So first thing you want to do is incorporate your company. LegalZoom, Dobbs, and other guys have lowered the cost of that. What we're doing is we're helping you lower the cost of office. You don't have to worry about finding a physical office day one. You can get started and actually truly collaborate around the globe. No hardware, no software installed as a service. You download off the web, and you're up and running and collaborating with your team members as well as your customers. What we offer is to recruit talent globally. If you're a startup technology company, it's very hard to recruit people in California. So you could have your employees or partners around the globe, and literally they'll feel like as if you're sitting in California for them. So this allows a small company, which could have gotten started in a garage, but actually feel like global and have all the tools necessary that a large company has or a competitor would have. And similarly, like you, we believe that the startup community, you are committed to making startup community successful, and a very achievable goal and very desirable goal for you and for all of us. What we want to do is to be able to offer along with you, the participants in your roundtable or others, to offer them get started with a free 2-room virtual office at no cost to you or to them. And if they're premium members of your service, what we offer is a 3 months service for 10 or 20 office plan, which is roughly about between $200 to $400 value. And if you see on the next page, that will tell you what the costs are associated with that. So the starter package has 2 rooms and gets all the capability except the guest access. The plus plan allows you up to 10 offices and has all the capabilities of all different modes of communications, file sharing, file deposits. You can actually exchange ideas in real time. Pro is about 20 offices that you could have, and then unlimited is for large corporations or small, medium businesses which have more than 20 employees that we can work to. In summary,
I'm going to ask the audience, are any of you interested in what Sri has to offer here? I'm doing a on-the-spot market for you, Sri.
Yeah, thank you. And the power of this thing is.
Don't respond to me privately, folks. you need to answer publicly. Set your public chat to send to all participants. You don't send me private responses. This is a public, we are doing a public poll, right? Shri is pitching a product. You need to give us a yes or no. Publicly, send to all participants. There you go.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
So
you, Sramana, for doing that.
Who have answered yes, you can call the number that's on your screen and take the discussions further. We're going to move on.
Yeah. So basically, we have a global presence. We have customers today from all around the world.
Great.
Thank you for the opportunity, Sramana.
Welcome. So folks, we are going to go to Q&A shortly, and we will open up the line. You can call in and we can discuss, whatever issues you want to discuss, whether it's your specific situations or any topic that you are generally trying to get your arms around. We can take the discussions anywhere you want. While you're getting organized and thinking through what questions you want to put on the table for discussion, I'm going to take a few minutes and explain to you how we work in 1M1M. And if you like what we do, if you like the mission of 1M1M and the way we are, bringing this program to market, please introduce serious entrepreneurs to the program, because the only way we can achieve our goal is by helping serious entrepreneurs achieve theirs. So it's really, really important for us to be able to connect with serious entrepreneurs. And this word serious is vitally important because we need people who have the tenacity to stay with a project and not abandon it after tinkering with it for 3 months. And that's that distinguishes real entrepreneurs versus pseudo entrepreneurs. So in terms of resources, everything is at 1mby1m.com. We are a 100% virtual program, so everything is online, and you will be able to access everything from the website. The blog is free, obviously, and it's chock full of great content around entrepreneurship. We've also published the Entrepreneur Journeys book series, which is at this point 8 books, 4 of which the first 4 are both physical and digital, and the last 4 are digital only. Everything is available on Kindle, and the first 4 are available on Amazon as well. This is what the site looks like. You'll find a lot of videos on the site that answer snippets of questions, frequently asked questions, essentially. We don't do a lot of selling. We kind of let you figure out whether this program is for you or not, and mostly you would be able to do that by just going to the website. These roundtables happen pretty much every Thursday, and we have over 200 roundtables. We've done over 200 roundtables. This is the 208th roundtable. Thousands and thousands of people are attending these, so it's a very popular, proven series. You can go to the website. On the top brown bar, you have the free public roundtable registration page. So you will find all the dates, the registration links, and everything over there. You can register to either attend or to page. Beyond that, we have the premium member, where we offer extensive methodology guidance. We have a very, very strong curriculum. We help you with business development, that's introductions to customers, channel partners, whatever you need. We are headquartered in Silicon Valley and anchored with a very deep Rolodex into the entrepreneurship ecosystem of the world. We have similar strategy consulting sessions, although they are members only, so the quality of discussions are different because people are using the curriculum, and the roundtables are in tandem with the curriculum, so they ask a lot of fairly sophisticated questions because they're already dealing with the basics in the curriculum. We also help you with financing if you are financeable, and we will teach you what is financeable, what is not financeable, and if you have aspirations of becoming financeable, what do you need to do. And then we also help you with media relations. So if you go to our website, the $1 Million Club introduces you to companies that have crossed $1 million in annual revenue. We have an ROI analysis and the quantifying the 1M1M value equation link, our analysis is that we are offering $375,000 worth of value plus 5 to 10% of equity worth of value for just a $1,000 annual membership fee. So we have purposely packaged all this, value into a very affordable price point. And whoever is on the line, or Maureen, can you put whoever is on the line on mute, please? Because you're streaming echo. All right. We also give you lots of orientation material on how to use the program effectively. The 1M1M self-assessment is a public page on the website that we recommend that you take your business through, so that you have a sense of, where you are with all the different important strategic elements. And for those of you who are in the premium program, we have supplied the curriculum modules related to those questions so that you can plug your knowledge gap. Of course, we cater to a tremendous number of first-time entrepreneurs, and we assume that you have knowledge gaps, and that's why we are here, so that we can help you efficiently and effectively fill those knowledge gaps very quickly. Again, there's a ton of information on what to expect from the premium program, video FAQs, and so forth. Our curriculum is designed on two primary premises. One is we've been doing mentoring for a long time, and we've got very deep awareness of what your issues are. And secondly, since 2006, we've been developing case studies. We've had over 600 successful entrepreneurs participate in our case study program, and we've stitched up everything to a curriculum that is delivered in the form of video lectures and case studies. And we've synthesized the lessons from the trenches of all these entrepreneurs and how they have mitigated the kinds of issues that you are facing. And that's what makes the curriculum so powerful, is that it's not really taught by any of us in 1M1M, even though the lectures are delivered by me, in video format, but really the stories and the journeys and the experiences and the strategies that you are able to learn from are experiences that are tried and true, that are practical experiences of entrepreneurs who have built successful companies. So you've got a tremendous amount of knowledge that has been accumulated here and stitched up into a curriculum that you can digest in 50 hours of core and maybe another 50 hours of elective. It is about the most efficient way you can actually master entrepreneurship. So in the core curriculum, we teach 7 modules: bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. In the electives, we have trend-aligned topics. So Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting, mobile and social apps, healthcare IT, online education, gaming. These are areas where we have electives. Our methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. The general philosophy of the program is bootstrap first, then raise money, if you raise money at all, so that you have enough valuation, enough ownership, good negotiating leverage, etc. We have learned from you and your experiences as well as our own, is that it's very, very difficult for small companies, early stage companies, to get any coverage from the media. Until you have a big funding announcement to unveil, the media doesn't give you any time. So we have a lot of clout in the media, and we have used that clout, and we continue to use that clout to put you out there and generate coverage for you. So if you go look at this page, it's on the press page. It's a sublink from the press page, coverage of 1M1M premium members. You'll have a feel of how much coverage we are generating for our companies, and I'm very proud of that, because in capitalism, PR and media coverage are essential elements. People to buy the value that you have created will have to know about you. And creating visibility is one of the most important items on the to-do list of an entrepreneur. And in the same vein, we offer you access to our social media channels, actually all the social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We have huge followings in each of those, and we give you access to all of that through our channels while you're building your own channels. We give you access to our blog, we cover you on our blog, and a lot of people monitor these. You know, we have systematically covered our portfolio companies, and then those companies have got either leads out of that coverage or have got investor pings from those coverage. It's a, you know, again, a tried and true mechanism. We do it very well. We know how to do it, and we encourage you to take advantage of it. We do have an affiliate program, so people who are running, you know, various kinds of entrepreneurship development organizations are welcome to become affiliates of the program. We have a couple of more roundtables coming up, March 20th and March 27th this month, and then again we will have almost, you know, maybe one, maybe not all, but at least 3 weeks out of April. In April, we will have roundtables. Vision India 2020 is a book based on the opportunities in India. So if you're working on out of India or have interest in, you know, leveraging the India story, and you haven't yet figured out what you want to do, this is a book that you can cull for ideas, and you're welcome to take any of those ideas and implement them. We have a program called the 1M Incubator in a Box, and this is something that a lot of our partners are using to either start their own incubators or expand their own incubation capabilities. We do particularly a lot of work in the corporate incubation area. So I know we have friends here from Akamai whom we are in conversation with. We have, for example, Incubator in a Box. We partner with Oracle, we partner with Nokia, SAP, HP, and a variety of others. So this is something a lot of people are finding very useful to get a program going, and whether it could be corporate incubation, it could be geographical incubation, it could be a government trying to develop an ecosystem in a city or a state. All of those are within our scope, and it's a very lightweight process to get something up and running, something effective and proven up and running in a very cost-effective manner. You know, I'll just run you through a few of the more recent books that deal with specific topics of interest to our community. And that's pretty much it as far as some background of 1M, and we are back to Q&A, and the line is now open. John Lynch, if you're on the line, and I know you've been trying to talk to us, please feel free to unmute your line and tell us what's going on. Anybody wants to call in? If you're calling in, please let us know in public chat that you are calling in so that we know to ask for you on the phone. And of course, please continue with the introductions and tell us who you are, where you're joining from, what you're working on. I see some introductions in the public chat that I will read out just to kind of stir up the networking session. Rupesh Balakrishnan says, this is my first roundtable with 1M. I'm very excited, although I've been following 1M closely for a long time. From a startup ecosystem perspective, I didn't get to joining one of these forums until last week when Siddharth Malik, Akamai India's MD, recommended me to join this meeting this week. I believe he spoke with you along the lines of innovation at Akamai and how we can understand the innovation happening in the internet space. So here I am. Very good, Rupesh, welcome. And then I see an introduction from Manoj Bijur, who says, Manoj Bijur from New York, calling in from Greenville, South Carolina. I have a startup to provide cloud services. Glad to have this opportunity to be here. Wonderful. Sharath Ramaswamy, also from Akamai Bangalore, working on an innovation project at Akamai, hoping to draw inspiration from this forum. Ramalingam Subramani from Irvine, California. Michael Kleeman, I know, is from Burlington, Massachusetts, from Oracle, that's right. The Oracle 1M Challenge Finals are coming up next Thursday and Friday. Ari Eisenstadt is the founder of Dream Ventures Pre-Seed Impact Venture Fund, and grateful to be here. Who else? Dave Mackey with Michael Pleman in Massachusetts. Does anybody else want to call in? Yes, no? You seem to be a quiet group. Ari, you want to call in? Please go ahead. I'll put up the number again. Go ahead. So the phone number, guys, is 650-479-3208, access code 668-302-835. And while Ari is calling in, I want to introduce all of you to Irina Patterson, who is the team member from the 1M side. If you need to reach somebody, please feel free to call Irina Patterson. Maureen, will you put in Irina's phone number and Skype ID and email address in the public chat, please? Ari, are you on the call?
Hey, Sramana, thank you so much for having me. This is really exciting. This is my first time on the call, and I really love what you're doing here. And I would really love to learn more about the incubator in the box and how that works.
So incubator in a box is essentially, so I'll give you a couple of examples of how people are using it. So our corporate partners typically use it to do ecosystem development, either intrapreneurship ecosystems or their platform ecosystems, for example. Right now we have a program running at Nokia, and they're incubating their developers around the Nokia platform ecosystem. They have over 20,000 developers developing for the Nokia Lumia phone. And essentially, Nokia is sponsoring entrepreneurs to go through the 1M program using the incubator in a box. So they get to have an incubator, but the actual incubation work we do at 1M.
Wow, that's wonderful. I recently started up a pre-seed venture capital fund, and we do impact micro-investing. We want to try to be a fund for funds and help really early-stage companies get started. We want to take the microfinance model and apply it to venture capital. And I feel like this is something that would be really great for us. So I would love to learn more about it. I also was wondering if you had any insight on impact investing and benefit corporations.
Yes, well, I have friends who are working in the impact industry, impact investing industry. I have a friend who runs Equilibrium Capital. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They are an impact investing fund, basically. They raise money and then they invest in impact projects of various kinds. So, so it's an industry that is developing. It's developing reasonably well. And it's, there's a very active community of activists that promote impact investing in the U.S. today and around the world, actually.
Yeah, that's great. Equilibrium is a really exciting fund, and I was really inspired to see that Delaware recently legalized benefit corporations, which allow for a company's fiduciary responsibility to be for a social and environmental impact, as well as a financial one. So I feel like you could have the best of both worlds. I've worked in the nonprofit and for-profit industries, and I feel like the for-benefit movement has a really exciting opportunity there. But yeah, that's very exciting. I was wondering also if you had any insights for people in the really early idea stage of companies, and what the next steps for them would be, and some important things that they should consider before getting started.
So we have, we do the full range from absolute zero stage incubation to, acceleration where companies already have, significant revenue and we are accelerating, we're helping them accelerate that revenue. So in the idea stages, what we teach in the program is how to validate an idea. First and foremost, you have to validate an idea. And in that process are other nuances like positioning. You need to learn positioning. It's a very poorly understood topic in the business. for some reason, people do not understand positioning, and whether your idea will validate or not, to a very large extent, depends on how you position that idea. Otherwise, you'll get all sorts of false positives and false negatives, and you know. So we teach all of that in our incubation program, and you know, often we see our philosophy again is that we prefer that you fail fast. We don't want you to take a bad idea and spend, you know, 2 or 3 years on it. We want you to fail fast, and if there is a, you know, if you have an idea that is not validating, it doesn't look like something that is going to turn into something reasonable, then, you know, do your homework and discard it and come up with another one and test that one, and maybe it's not until the 3rd or 4th idea that you find one that is worth giving several years of your life to, because companies take a long time to build. You don't want to give several years of your life to something that is not worthwhile.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much again. I really look forward to learning more from you in this program. I really appreciate it.
Super. Nice to meet you. Anybody else? Anybody else wants to call in? No? So Maureen has put in Irina Patterson's phone number and email and Skype. So Irina at 1mby1m.com. Her phone number is 786-301-2456. Her Skype ID is Irina_Patterson. So any of you have any questions about anything that we have discussed today, including Incubator in a Box, 1, you will find tons of information on our website, and 2, you can call Irina and start discussing whatever you want to discuss, and we will, you know, figure out what makes sense. If it's a partnership that you're trying to explore, we will figure out what are the right parameters for that partnership. If you want to join the 1M1M program, she will help you evaluate. You can help yourself evaluate through the website, or Irina can also help you evaluate if we are the right program for you. Please note, we only work with IT and IT-enabled services. So if you're trying to start a restaurant, for instance, or a you know, or a laundromat, that's not really our sweet spot. We work mostly in software, internet, mobile kinds of businesses. We also do not do biotech. We do not really do clean tech, because those are highly capital-intensive businesses, and there is, you know, there's very little capital available to do those businesses these days, because unfortunately, fortunately for us, but unfortunately for those investment or those categories, there's been a tremendous flight of capital from those segments to the software / internet segment. All right, folks, looks like we do not have any other questions. So I look forward to seeing you back here next week, and or actually no, not next week, the week after, on the 20th of March. And meanwhile, if you need to reach anyone, please contact Irina. And if you want to pitch at the next roundtable on March 20th, contact Maureen, and she will set you up to be part of the roster of entrepreneurs scheduled to pitch. Thank you and good luck. Thank you for attending.